What is up guys, back again with yet another one, and this time I'm talking all about the new BMW i7. So, it's the electric version of the 7 Series which they're coming out with. So I figured I'd compare it to the Mercedes-Benz EQS, as well as loosely compare it to the Tesla Model S. Now, I've made some previous comparison videos involving both the EQS as well as somewhat of a review or just general information about the Tesla Model S. I've talked about the Plaid model. I've talked about the regular Tesla Model S. All of those videos, if you want to catch up to speed, you can check out in the top right corner up here. However, in this video, I'm really going to be highlighting the i7 mostly. So I will make a few comparisons here and there, but I'm really going to show you guys what this car looks like, what to expect, and of course all the specs of it. But first of all, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment, so I can work my way back up the algorithm. And without further ado, let's start up the video. So looking at this i7, it's probably one of the newest looking, maybe most modern looking BMWs, because in these newer vehicles, they've taken a whole new angle of producing these cars. So the whole front end, essentially you could call it somewhat of a facelift, because the previous models of these vehicles had a very distinguished BMW look to them. Whereas if you look at, for example, the 4 Series, you can see the bigger grills. Again, if you look at this i7 in particular, you have the double headlights, which I'll be honest, I'm not really in love with. However, this car makes up for it when it comes to the specs of it, as well as the interior, both of which I'm going to highlight. But I'll start off with, I guess, the boring stuff or the specs. Starting with the price, we're looking at a car that's going to be $120K, which will give us 536 horsepower. If we're going to compare that to the EQS is somewhat cheaper at only $103,000. However, it gives significant less horsepower of only 329. So you can essentially see the price that you're going to be getting per horsepower in either of these vehicles. This is a lot more of a luxury vehicle, again similar to the EQS, again somewhat similar to the Tesla Model S. So you can see the interior, they've really put a lot of effort into upping the technology in this vehicle in order to make it essentially somewhat of a chauffeur's vehicle, while it could also double as your own personal vehicle if you so pleased. And of course, when it comes out, it will be directly rivaling the EQS. So of course, you see more and more companies, and I've said this in several videos over the past years, you can see more and more vehicle companies sort of slowly gravitating towards making fully electric vehicles, which we're likely going to be seeing a lot more of in 2030. So now if we were to compare this to the EQS, one of the big things that people like about the EQS, similar to this i7, is the amount of technology that really both these vehicles have. You can see in the back seat of this i7, on the side armrest, in place of where you would have the window button where you can wind up the window and wind it down, instead of actually replaced it with a miniature screen. So they're really trying to up the technology in a lot of these vehicles to make it a lot more luxurious, along with the fact that the car is much more spacious in the rear, allowing you to stretch the seats out and you can essentially lay down in the rear seat. And going back to the EQS, sort of doing a little back and forth comparison, we're looking at a car that's really going to give us only 350 miles of range. As far as the range for the i7, we're still going to see how, again, there's a little bit more testing that needs to be done, but of course in the near future we're going to see the exact amount of miles of range this car is going to give us. If I had to guess, I'd probably guess that it's likely between the 300s to the 400s. So let me know what you guys think about this. This is a bit of a short one today because, again, this car is really just been released, so we're going to find out more over the next couple of weeks. Let me know in the comments below what other vehicles you'd like me to talk about. But yeah, that's that for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to check out the other videos related to this i7 that I'm comparing it to, of course, which is the EQS and the Tesla, which again, you can find in the top right corner. Once again, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to this video so I can work my way back up the algorithm, and I will catch you guys next time.